Hello everyone, welcome back to Study Room. So today we'll be continuing with the chapter 5th, and today we'll be discussing about fertilization. So in the last video we did reproduction, different modes of reproduction, male gametes, female gametes, male reproductive organ, female reproductive organ. So in this video we'll be talking specifically about fertilization. So let's begin. Here is an activity plan for you. Try to observe eggs of the following organism: frogs, lizard, butterfly, moth, hen, crow, or any kind of bird. Were you able to observe? After observing, you have to answer questions. Were you able to observe eggs of all of them? Yes or no? Make drawings of the eggs that you have observed. So you have to observe the eggs, and you will find that every egg is different in structure. Some are big, some are small, some are colored, and some are colorless, some are white. So you'll see how diverse our nature is and how these animal reproduces and makes organisms. So fertilization, the fusion of a sperm with an egg, is called fertilization. Yes, so when a sperm fuses with egg, this is what fertilization. It is the first step in the process of reproduction. So reproduction's first step is fertilization. During fertilization, the nuclei of the sperm and the egg fuses to form a single nucleus. So they both fuses, just like you remember sperm and egg fuses to form zygote. This result in the formation of a fertilized egg called zygote. Zygote is the beginning of the new individual. Now this is the fertilization introduction. So you can see here, this is sperm fuses with the egg. This is what fertilization is. And when we broaden it, so you'll see ovary here, it's ovulation. Ovulation means when eggs travels back all the way to the fallopian tube, and sperms travel from here and they both fuses here. Ovary produces ovum. So ovum travels from here to here, and sperms enter here, and here the fertilization takes place in the uterus. Fertilization, the process of fertilization is the meeting of an egg cell from the mother and a sperm cell from the father. So the new individual inherits some characteristic from mother and some from father. As you know, we have 46 pair of chromosomes, 23 from mother, 23 from father. Now there are several types of fertilization, internal and external. So you can see here, external fertilization happens in the case of frog. Sperms and eggs are released into the water and they fuses itself into the water. They are not fused in the body of the female organism. So in case of deer, this some spermatozoa travels into the female organs and they fuses inside the body of the female. So this is internal fertilization. Now fertilization types. Internal, we will be discussing about internal fertilization, which takes place inside the body of the female, is internal fertilization. For example, humans, dogs, cows, birds, etc., and even hen. External fertilization, where fertilization takes place outside the body of the female. It is very common in aquatic animals, for example, fish, starfish, and amphibians. Amphibians are the animals who live in the water as well as outside on the land. So, for example, frog, they fertilizes externally. The male gamete and female gamete fuses outside the body. It fuses in the water. Important fact: IVF. There is a new term, IVF, which is in vitro fertilization. The fertilization of an egg that take place outside the body in a test tube or tine or in any other apparatus, and then later the zygote or one cell organism is introduced in the female body. So removing an ovum. So in this, what our scientists do is they extract the egg and sperm from the individual's body and they fuses them outside in the test tube, and later when it becomes zygote is introduced into the uterus. So all the gestation period is happening in the body of female, but just the fertilization is acting outside. So that is why it is called in vitro fertilization. So removing an egg from the women's ovaries, egg are combined with sperm outside the body, that's why in vitro, and then zygote is implanted in the uterus. So gestation period of the 9 month happens in the womb, but fertilization happens outside. Important facts: test tube babies. What are test tube babies? In this technique, freshly released egg and sperm are put together for a few hours for IVF. In case fertilization occurs, the zygote is allowed to develop for about a week and then placed in the uterus. So zygote, when fertilization happens, immediately zygote is not implanted in the body. It is kept for a week in the test tube or in any apparatus, glass-shaped apparatus. Later, by keeping it in a well-nourished environment, then it is introduced into the body of the female. Complete development takes place in the uterus in the normal pregnancy period. Just the fertilization takes place outside. Though these animals lay hundreds of eggs and release millions of sperms, all the eggs do not get fertilized and develop into the new individual. This is about organisms which happen to do external fertilization. So they releases thousands of eggs and millions of sperms to ensure that their eggs are fertilized. But not every egg or every sperm gets fuses with the egg. This is because egg and sperm get exposed to the water movement, wind, and rainfall. So if you are introducing your eggs and sperm to the outside climatic conditions, for example, in water has waves, water has other organisms, the egg or sperm can be eaten by other organisms, they are exposed to the external factors, for example, wind, rainfall. So these sperms and eggs may get exploited in the external factor. Also, there are other animals in the pond which may feed on the egg for the nourishment. Thus, production of large number of eggs and sperm is necessary to ensure that at least few of them fuses. So not every one of them fuses, just to ensure that few of them fuses, and others, because there is a probability that the eggs and sperms may get exploited with the external conditions. So this was all about fertilization. In the next video, we'll be talking about more in the more details of the fertilization. So thank you.